Alright, Steve, so I drove the car a little bit here and there to the store and back. Here's our temperature. Temperature shows just, that's like 60, it's like around 50-60. So 50-60 is not closed loop yet. It's got to be like around 80. So the engine runs an open loop. I did take out some coolant, and that's my thermometer. I mean, I can put my finger in there, I'm not being burnt. So to me, the temperature is about right, because at 80 Celsius, then you're already starting to get a little uncomfortable putting your finger in there. I would rather say. Not pretty much, well, not necessarily burning, but these pipes here, that's also our heating circuit. That does work because you can see condensation in your coolant tank. It's warming up the coolant tank so it doesn't freeze. They're quite warm, but again, I'm not being burnt. I can hold my hands on them, so they're not crazy hot. It's the same circuit as your coolant circuit. Pipe, now I relieved the pressure. The pipe is soft now. Okay, but it feels like it is open, like you said. Thermostat could have been removed, because by moving the pipe, by squeezing it, I see lots of water motion in there. Now what that tells me is that there's open flow. Thermostat at 60 would have not been open, so I would have minimal flow of coolant in the tank. As you can see, it moves a lot. Now on the engine block here, yeah, it's kind of hot, and you know, but I can still kind of hold my fingers on it. I'm not being burnt. And the temperature is now, again, this is Celsius, so as you can see on the housing itself, on the water pump, we are around 50. So that kind of tells me that, yeah, you most likely the thermostat is not even there. So, you know, around the temperature sensor, we're also hitting somewhere around 50-60, 50-60. As you can see, the hottest being like 56. That is more or less correlates to our gauge. And here the coolant temperature, of course this is not scientific, but because this is really bad thermometer, but as you can see, I'm hitting somewhere from 30 something to 50 something. So that's kind of close. The gauge, the hoses here, it's just this, like I said, this thing is, it probably beams like crazy, but 40 something, whatever. Radiator, let's try radiator, upper hose here, and it's really low. So yeah, most likely our thermostat is removed, because, you know, it's just the way it is. So it would be nice to reinstall. So that's what I wanted to show you. The heat in the car works. It's not super hot, so that is another thing that makes me think that thermostat is removed, and it is not the actual gauge. But again, because you're running in winter and with the heat on, see, the gauge is somewhere around 60. So yeah, that kind of correlates. It sort of correlates to the theory that thermostat is removed, because all around the engine there, where I tried to check, temperature is around 50 something. So that might be that our gauge is actually correct and you're not getting it warmed up. The heat itself, you know, it's like, it's warm all right, but it's not hot. it's not hot, so it's like it's really not hot. It's just like, yeah, mediocre, just lukewarm type of deal. It's just a little warm, but not really hot. These, you know, when the thermostat is at 80, it's really hot in here. So, because some people drive cars like that with roof open, even in fall time. So, yeah. So that is another thing. Thermostat would be good to reinstall, because you will get engine to run a normal closed loop. Right now, it's running an open loop. It burns more gas and whatnot, and that is basically not really good, because it's never in its proper operational temperature. Tuning of the engine is not possible at this temperature. A little bit of coolant here and there, but that's about it. That's just, some coolant leaked out because I opened the cap. It was overflowing, so I sucked out some of it, and that was it. What else is there? We have a little bit of a fuel leak, it appears. Yeah, from EHA valve. Right there. Yeah, you can see it. Right at the spigot, tiny little spigot right there. There is a little bit of a leak there. You know, I don't know what to tell you on that. We'll discuss it later. It is leaking down under, but not a lot. The car should not catch fire by any means, because there is not much fuel, but that is something to deal with, and that is probably when we do injectors, we have to deal with that EHA valve, because you don't want no fuel leak on that. There goes a little bit of fuel. So anyway, this is it for today. It's really nasty outside. It's getting really nasty outside because of the winter time. Engine runs good, but again, we need to deal with those things. Okay, so I'll cut it quits. Getting wet over here, so I'm gonna shut it down, close the car, off I go back inside. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.